What do you do when a seller says, hey, I'm leaving? Probably never coming back. You're in charge of all of the cleaning and maintenance, including maid service, gardeners, power washers, and more. And even more importantly, what do you do when you're 3 days before closing and the lender says, hey, there's no way to do this deal? Well, that just happened to me. Let's talk about it. So, I got a new client that wanted to sell their home out here in Chehalis. I went out and spoke with her, and she said, give me the papers. And she signed. Asked hardly any questions, and she said, I am leaving, no idea what state I'm going to. Goodbye. Clean up the house as much as you need, add it to the bill. So, step zero, we get the house cleaned up. The carpet kind of stunk, so we got the carpet cleaned. We got the whole place cleaned up with a maid service, landscapers, power washing, the whole nine. Made the property beautiful, got all of our best marketing up, and eventually got the home under contract. Oh, we also got the home inspected, which is important because we had nothing to do in this escrow really, because the buyers were very content with the inspection. So it was really quiet. It was an FHA deal, down payment assistance, 3-week close, 2 weeks passed, nothing happened. We got an email from the lender saying, hey, everything's good. 2 days before closing, they said, hey, we're gonna need probably a slight extension. 1 day before closing, they said, hey, we need a 2-week extension, but don't worry, this deal is absolutely closing, no problems in sight. So we signed the extension. Week and a half later, we get an email saying, hey, there's no chance we can close this deal. We found something on the pay stubs that makes it impossible. The deal's officially dead. We quit. Well, this is no good because my client is buying a replacement property. She's using proceeds from the sale to purchase her home, and there's no way for her to purchase this home without selling hers first. So what do? Well, we get in touch with my favorite lender. Talked to my lender, told him everything that's going on. He said, hey, get all the documents over to me. I'll start working on this right away. Now, for this particular deal, what we had was a wage garnishment. There was a judgment made that was taking money out of their checks. And for FHA, you have to have a payment plan in existence for any existing debts or outstanding debts in order to close. Now, this deal did not have a payment plan. They had a garnishment, but it had payments being made. So that kind of counts as a payment plan, right? So when my lender called and said, hey, is there any way we can do this? The people at underwriting said, no chance. My lender said, awesome, let's talk to a higher up and a higher up and a higher up until everyone agreed that a garnishment does count as a payment plan. At this point, we figured we could do the deal. Seems like we have everything we need. So we had to push through. We got ourselves 2 weeks to close. The problem is that we actually needed more than that. FHA down payment assistance programs take a minute, closer to a month. We thought we could rush it through because it was done already. They didn't let us. So we got an additional 2-week extension. Problem was we couldn't extend any more than that because any more extensions and my client was not going to be able to buy her house. If she couldn't buy her house, then the people she's buying the house from couldn't buy their house, and so on. We were about to have a domino situation. So we had to close not only for the sake of our deal for the buyers and the sellers, but for everyone else in the chain after that. At this point, the buyer's agent more or less tapped out, so I was doing most stuff with the lender and the buyers directly. The buyer's agent was pretty frustrated and didn't want to go anymore. I don't think she could handle it. So I started working with everyone directly, and with a tremendous amount of hard work, we got the deal done on the final day, the final hour, squeaked it through. The buyers were able to get into their home, the seller was able to get into her home, and every home for the rest of the chain was able to close. And that's all because we took a minute to pause, get good lenders in the mix, read the rules, figure out the problems, and get some solutions. So if you are thinking about doing some messy deals or want some tips on how to do stuff better, how to close the unclosable, you know what to do. Call Castro, and I'll catch you guys soon.